Everywhere you go, they are right there next to you. So don't be fooled. The light of day may not reveal to you their identities, but in the dark of night, some will come out to the streets, like Koinange Street right next to me. However, some prefer to operate in brothels or even in the privacy of mansions. Even the holy books acknowledge their existence from generations before. Sex workers are everywhere. Now, forget these scenes you are probably used to seeing from the streets. You have probably seen them and possibly mistook them for parking boys out to make a few shillings for showing you to an empty parking lot. But I am talking about male sex workers, men whose trade is to sell their bodies to male clients. KTN can now reveal the identities of some of them. When we first walk into his house in the outskirts of Nairobi, the pink shades on the wall, curtains and seats are striking, and for a reason. He then takes out this umbrella. It is the symbol of sex workers. John Madenge is 30 years old. He was born and brought up in Nyeri, but now resides in Nairobi. Growing up in the countryside, Madenge started engaging in sex with other men for money at the age of 12. He blames poverty for such an early debut into the trade. He had 12 other siblings. Their father left the family, leaving Madenge's mother to raise all 13 of them.
I'm the breadwinner. I have done a lot of work to educate my brothers, even taking them to the university through working with sex workers and being a sex worker, all those kind of things, going and having sex with people so that I can educate my own brothers. While me, I did not even go to that university. But I'm happy when I see them, they are happy. My mama is happy. My friends are happy. And for me, I have that so much passion. And I would like to see sex workers into another level in this country.
Mombongua, also known as Mantuli Her Majesty, is also a sex worker. He is 24 and originally from Tuapa at the coast. Unlike Madenge, Mantuli says he did not feel compelled to get into sex work.
Kuna mwanaume nilikuwa na twist na yeye. Alikuwa ametoka Europe. Right now he's dead. Sasa wakati alikufa, nikaona sasa njia ya kupata pesa hakuna, na alikuwa ashanionyesha watu wakubwa marafiki zake. Nikaamua sasa ni kwenda kuwatoanisha hata kama anataka ngono.
Both Madenge and Mantuli concede that their trade exposes them to health risks, stigma, discrimination, as well as physical violence. That is why they have chosen to break the silence.
I cry when I address people and I talk to people about sex work. And sometimes it reminds me of my past and I start crying. I ask myself, why did it have to happen to me, and why is it happening to these young people anymore? And why are there so many people who are selling sex and they are being infected, especially the male sex workers?
For Madenge, the stigma is threefold. He is a male sex worker and one who deals with male clients. He is also HIV positive. Many male sex workers are.
There's a lot of male sex workers who are dying every day. And it pisses me off when, because of the stigma, the discrimination that they get every day, that they cannot even access health. Like this month, we have lost 3, which is not good. Yeah. So this year we have lost almost 10, which is terrible.
That was in December 2011 when this interview was recorded. Madenge later informed me that he attended 2 more funerals of sex workers at the beginning of January. Past experiences at health facilities have forced many sex workers to stay away. They say health workers get shocked when male sex workers reveal their identities. Others abuse them verbally or even kick them out of the facility altogether. Dennis Nzioka is openly gay, activist and editor of the Identity magazine, which targets the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender and intersex groups LGBTI. He says it is not uncommon to arouse curiosity within health facilities if one presents some health conditions.
A very famous case, a very poster child case happened in Mombasa, where a gay sex worker went to have treated for some hemorrhoids in the anal area. And so he went in and saw the nurse. Then, out of curiosity, she just asked, "How did you get these anal warts?" And the guy, in all flamboyance, said, I'm a gay person, I sleep with men, and chances are I got them from there. So she was taken aback. She was completely surprised and shocked. And immediately, as an emotional reaction to that, she ran out of the room, called the other nurses, and she said, "Come see a homosexual. Kuja uone shoga."
You don't want to open up who you are. You don't want to say that you have the words. You have maybe the the hemorrhoids, all those kind of things, and those people always actually they use herbal medicines.
The Sex Workers Outreach Program is a project of the Universities of Nairobi and Manitoba. This is one of the few clinics where sex workers can come and get services without having to face stigma and discrimination. To date, over 18,000 of them have open files here. Among them are 400 male sex workers. Earlier, I met Gloria Gaki. She runs the prevention programs here. She says the records here show that 1 out of every 2 male sex workers is HIV positive. But since the program incorporated the group in mid-2009, over 98% of sex workers agree to get tested for HIV. And of those who are HIV negative when joining the program, only 2% have since turned positive. Evidence the prevention program is working.
We'll test them for HIV, and if they turn to be HIV positive, we'll give them ARV within the same site. And then we treat the STI by giving them medication and also screening and educating them on how to prevent. But our biggest key service that we provide is provision of the condoms, demonstration of the condoms, and availing it in all the sites within here and the hotspots.
To achieve this, Gloria says the clinic trains some sex workers as peer educators. Madenge and Mantuli are some of their trainees.
We believe that it's only another sex worker who can approach another sex worker. So we use the peer educators to reach their peers in the field. And we have trained a number of them. They're able to provide health education in the field, they're able to give the condoms, and also give direction to the site.
But Madenge says the information they have received at the clinic does not always translate to success when they meet clients.
Most of these clients doesn't want to use condom because they think that if you use condom, they pay you less. If you don't use condoms, they pay you a lot of money. These married men, do they have time to buy condoms, to be honest?
And there lies the link with the rest of society.
These people, who do they have sex with? They have sex with married people. They have sex with those pastors. They have sex with those doctors, the journalists, everyone.
The list of their clients represents the face of Kenya.
You know, who are the clients of the sex workers? The clients of sex workers are people who are professional, people who take them to the offices, people who will become like escorts. You can be a personal assistant of someone and you become an escort, and someone pays for your flight, pay for your fare, you become like an escort, you become a personal assistant. But what are you doing? You know, that is sex, escort.
So it is not always that male sex workers will dress up like women and behave effeminate or like women. In putting together this story, I had stories of clients who will employ the sex workers as houseboys or other domestic servants. These servants accompany the family whenever they go on holidays. No one, not even the wives, can suspect that they are more than just the servants they have probably employed on a meager salary. Every African man is expected to marry a woman and bear children. In the African culture, it is a societal concern if one appears disinterested or delays to bring home a woman. And the majority do honor tradition. But it is also known that some men have been caught pants down having relations with other men. Dennis Nzioka is a father of one, but he identifies himself as an MSM. He says he knows many who've married just to satisfy tradition.
So you think you've married Prince Charming. It's out with the boys. And you're okay because it's always out with the boys. Because if it was with women, you'd be like, hi? Oh, you feel weird. But, oh, niko na my friends wangu machali, we're watching football, we have gone kayaking, or we have gone camping. Kumbe. It's one of his boyfriends that he's entertaining. And finally, he brings you HIV and AIDS.
Some of these men end up as clients of the male sex workers. The unverified list of clients is shocking and includes a former assistant minister, a current cabinet minister, and a more senior politician, as well as a renowned televangelist. All these men are married with children. In fact, some of them are publicly known to have multiple female partners. Next on Muffled Killer.
We have been working with them and also private sector to ensure that the lubricants they may need as part of the commodities for HIV prevention, including condoms, are available even within the market.
What government is doing to tame HIV through the male sex workers.